On Dia de los Todos Santos, the ofrenda will have things that are appealing to children. So ladies, will you point out some of the things here? For example, we have the candies. What kid doesn't like candy, right? I think in my case, I put some chocolates up here because my mom was a chocoholic. So my mom's picture is up here, and I put some chocolates up there for her. And then we have some little smaller calaveras and some toys that were made, some chocolate in the corner over there. We could have toys. You could have something that the child wore, anything that would be attractive to the child's memory, something they actually owned. An interest that they had. If they liked math, put a math book there. You know, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's because you remember it, and it's about bringing them alive to us here with you. Other things that for children, we do put food on the table. I did not bring any food out, hot food, but you would bring out food that kids like. Yes, I know today it would definitely be, chicken nuggets and a cheese sandwich, but usually if you're a good cook, put something Mexican out. I think that's all a little more part of the holiday. But it doesn't really matter because it's really what the kids like. Pan de muerto or sweet bread, there are hundreds of different types of pan de muerto. Would you hold this up so they can see this, honey? Show them so they can see this. This is your typical pan de muerto that we know here in California. If she'll show it so you can see, kind of dip it a little bit without dropping it. It's called lágrimas en huesos because it has little bones on the top that are coming down the sides, and it should have little drops of bread on it as well that represent the lágrimas. And lágrimas en huesos means tears and bones, because in the end that's what we have with the loss and the renewal of life. Thank you, honey. So get a good shot of that. We'll just hold it here for a minute. So that is the typical lágrimas en huesos. They also have forms that look like a little person that's sitting like this. It's just a piece of bread where it's like this, and you might see some eyes on it. It's called an alma, which means a soul. But they have hundreds of different types from different parts of Mexico, and as well as in Guatemala, that are regional styles. We've got some other kinds of pan dulce, which is, of course, what kids like as well. So this is typical for the holiday. You wouldn't see this the rest of the year. Okay. We also put some salt on the table. Where's the salt, honey? On the top, yes, in that little piece of barro. Salt is a purifier. Many cultures all over the world use salt to purify food, to brine things to make them last longer. They put a salt along the doorway so that it keeps all the bad vibes, all the evil issues outside, so that they can't pass over the salt. So salt is a purifier. We do use it as a purifier in food because that's what it does, and it has for centuries been used on ofrendas such as this, and for practices such as this. That's a picture of my parents. My picture's on there too. And I didn't do this, but this is how it's done. What do you do if you have a picture with a lot of people? And some of them are alive and some of them are not. What some places in Mexico do is they take a piece of tissue and they go and put it on the face of the person who's alive, so that only the faces of the people who are dead are showing. In a lot of places in Mexico, they didn't have a lot of money, so there may not even be a picture of the person. So it's very important to put things that represent that person on the ofrenda. Some areas even put a whole brand new set of clothes that they bought for the night, for that evening, that would have fit and would have been appropriate for the person to remember, because they don't have a photo. So photos also are part of this because it's all about our ancestors. And if you don't have a photo, you put something that they loved or something that they wore or something that belonged to them that they cared about. Another thing, you've all seen this flower before. This is called a cempasúchil. And you can find all kinds of images of ofrendas, of the items on the presentation that you have. So, one of the last things I'd like to talk about then, we have the photos. Make sure the 4 elements. The papel picado, these are plastic ones. We do have paper ones. The papel picado is air. Candles are fire. The food and the produce and the pan is earth. And I missed one. Water. Water is purely water. So I think you get the idea. For Dia de los Muertos, on November 1st is Dia de los Santos, and Dia de los Muertos on November 2nd.